Hello everyone, this is John from Compass Rose Bushcraft, and today I want to do a video on haversacks. I've started carrying a haversack whenever I hike or canoe camp because I have found them to be a very useful piece of kit. My interest in carrying them came from a video I saw some years ago where the comment was made that in old-time camping it was not unusual to carry a haversack so that you had some ready-use stuff easily available and didn't have to go into your pack when you needed it. And so I bought initially just a simple canvas, world-famous canvas haversack that I put some waterproofing on and began to carry it with some gear in it, and I would simply put it on over my canoe pack, hang at my side, and when I got to the canoe, put this into the back behind the seat that I sit in, and it would have maybe my water bottle, a fire kit, one or two items in it. And I found that a really handy way to travel because what I would keep in the haversack was some gear that I needed a lot and didn't want to have to be diving in and out of my pack for. As time went on, I realized the limitations of just this very simple sack-like haversack and began to look around. And while I normally try to look first for Canadian gear, being a Canadian, I was not able to find anything that I really liked in Canadian manufacturing. And so I bought from the American manufacturer, the Hidden Woodsman, their haversack. And I've been very pleased with this product and have used it extensively over the last number of years. The advantage of this is that you can put your pack on, put the haversack on. It's small, it's fairly light, you barely notice it's there. But when you get to a campsite, you have some ready-use gear to start setting the campsite up, or if you're just pausing for lunch, you can keep your lunch supplies in the haversack. I keep things in it like a fire kit and utensils and first aid kits so that I know immediately where that is and have immediate access to it should I have need. So I want to show you some of the adaptations I have made, some of the gear that I carry in, and I change it up depending on what I'm doing on any given day. So here is the kit as I might carry it on a camping trip. I used to carry my water bottle inside the haversack, and I recently bought a container for the water bottle because it has some insulation in it and keeps the water a little cooler on a hot day, and there's a little bit of extra gear that I keep in there dedicated to the water bottle and the needs that are presented by that. The Hidden Woodsman Haversack is very well thought out. It has the Fast-X buckle flap, and then it's got some sort of rain flaps on the top that you can open up, and it's lined with an orange fabric so that you can see gear that is inside it fairly quickly. It has a good space inside and is enough space really for those kinds of ready-use things that I would normally carry on a trip. So let me show you some of the gear that I will keep in the sack and give you an idea of how I use it. So the first thing I have in it today is a sit pad so that when I get to a site for lunch I can simply put that down on a log and have a little more comfort, or if the grass is wet or the rock or log is wet, it'll protect my backside from getting wet. I carry in it my utensils, and I have a utensil roll that I made a number of years ago. It's made out of a synthetic dish towel that absorbs a lot of water. In it I have a pair of tongs. I have a little spatula that I carry, and a knife, fork, and spoon. The spoon is an old Canadian Navy spoon that I bought at an antiques shop in honor of an uncle who used to serve in the Canadian Navy. A kind of a medieval knife for cutting food, and a traditional older antique fork that I like to carry with me when I'm camping. This I will tie around a tree when I get to a campsite, but it rolls up fairly small and fits into the haversack very nicely for those stops for lunch, or if I'm making cooking a small meal for lunch. Then I will often carry with it a small little tool roll, and in that is a small tool for doing some rope work with paracord. And I have a little bit of fat wood with the bow drill divot in it so that I can use a bow drill should I want to. And I carry a fire steel and striker and some cordage, and I have a little auger in there that I have, and a small wrench for doing small repairs. Then I'll carry a little cordage and my fire kit, and in here is flint and steel and some tinder that I often have a waterproof pack around. But it's often one of the first things one wants when one gets to a campsite, and so it's always fairly close in my haversack. At other times, I will keep, if I'm going to stop and prepare some soup or something along that line at lunch, I can also replace some of this gear with one of my pots, so that I keep the pot, stove, and fuel. And it goes in the haversack quite nicely and is enough supplies to prepare a little soup or something along that line for lunch. In the zippered front of the haversack, I carry a small first aid kit and a Swiss Army knife that has a standard blade and a small saw, so that, again, if you want to stop and you want to cut a few twigs or something along that line to help start a fire, again, those tools are there and they're ready use, and I don't have to dive into my pack to get it. I also carry any of the electronic cables that I may be wanting to use. In this case, this is a charger for one of my flashlights. In the side pouch that carries the water bottle, I keep my water bottle and a nesting cup. Water bottle and a nesting cup that goes around the bottom of it so that it all stacks in together. And again, the water bottle carrier has some insulation in it, so it helps to keep water cool. And then in the zipper pouch on the side of that, I carry one of the fish jaw spreaders so that it can be used with the water bottle should I want to hang it over the fire. And as a kind of a backup or for different circumstances, I also made myself a little loop system from aircraft wire that, when you take off the lid, goes very nicely around the neck of the bottle, and can also be used to hang the bottle in a tree or to hang it over the fire. And it hangs fairly securely just from a carabiner or a branch over the fire for the boiling of water and purification of water. But all of this gear goes very nicely into the haversack, and it means that when I stop for lunch or if I want to reach for water while I'm paddling, everything is there, everything is easily accessible, and it gives me some versatility. And even with all of this gear in, there's still a fair amount of space at the top of the pack that allows me to put a prepared lunch or some additional supplies in. I also wanted to show the back side of the haversack, which has this lovely axe sleeve in which I occasionally, depending on what it is I am doing, will put either an axe or, in this case, my tomahawk, and it carries fairly flat against the side, so you really don't even notice that it is there. And it means that, again, stopping at the end of the day and you want to get a little of the wood started, it's immediately there and you don't have to fuss in your pack to grab it. And that's part of how handy this particular haversack is for the particular usage I put it to. I should mention that I'm not sponsored by Hidden Woodsman or by any of the gear you see here. This is just simply gear that I have found is very handy on a given day as I stop for lunch or stop to make camp. And having it in the haversack means that it is ready use. I don't have to dig through a pack to find it, and it has proved to be a very handy way of preparing for my camping. So this is John from Compass Rose Bushcraft. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for dropping by.